bear did cocaine. It sure did. Wouldn't you? Kilos upon kilos of coke in the woods. Sounds like a party to me. Have you ever wondered what a bear doing cocaine would do? How would the drugs affect the animal? Well, strap in. It's gonna be a wild ride. If you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Remember, it's totally free and it's your access to loads of all new reviews I put out weekly here at Off the Cover. And without further ado, onto the video. I've got to admit, when I first heard of Cocaine Bear through a trailer, my mind immediately jumped back to Snakes on a Plane, the 2006 cult classic about a whole nest of deranged snakes in the cargo hold of a plane is your classic B movie. Over the past 10 years, we really haven't gotten a good B movie. That's because the film industry has bifurcated. On the one hand, you have small independent movies with tiny budgets, some of which can be very, very good. Think of A24. On the other hand, you have the massive blockbusters full of CGI and enough eye meth to make Jesse Pinkman bounce off the walls. We haven't gotten a solid B movie in quite some time. Until now. In 1985, ex-narcotics officer Andrew Thornton brought more than 800 pounds of nose candy from the lush jungles of Colombia into the US on a plane. When he thought he heard federal agents were hot on his trail, he ditched the coke and jumped out in a hastily packed parachute. The cops found him splattered all over a Tennessee home's driveway. So much for trafficking narcotics. The duffel bags of party powder fell in a national forest in Georgia and were ripped into by a bear. But unlike the movie, the real bear never killed anyone. It just died of an overdose. Today, he's a stuffed statue in a Kentucky mall. So as you can see, the real-life story, while pretty incredulous, isn't as funny as the movie. But Elizabeth Banks showed off her comedic talent superbly. The entire movie satirizes the event and makes it seem like such a Florida man type of story that would only happen in America. Throughout the film, we get visual gags, over-the-top acting, and some very believable CGI. Obviously, getting a real bear to do some of these stunts would prove highly dangerous, but also cruel to the animal. The use of CGI is not over the top though. It's used sparingly and to great effect. The film never takes itself too seriously. Every one of the actors looked like they had a ton of fun filming this movie. Kerry Russell seemed to be the most serious of them all. Perhaps the humor was lost on her. Personally, I love Isaiah Whitlock. From his days on The Wire, Whitlock has quietly and consistently amassed a mountain of acting credits thanks to his wit, humor, and acting prowess. O'Shea Jackson has got to be the standout of the film, however. His acting brings with it an understated humor that works at all the right moments. For example, his timing and delivery made the bathroom scene simultaneously tense and hysterical. And I couldn't do this review without mentioning the biggest star power of the film. Sadly, this was Ray Liotta's last film prior to his tragic passing of a heart attack in 2022. Liotta had a long and storied career which was cut short, but going out after a film like Cocaine Bear is going out on a high note in my opinion. Overall, Cocaine Bear is a film that doesn't take itself too seriously and is your classic B movie. It doesn't pretend to be highbrow at any point. Great acting, solid directing, and cleverly delivered punchlines make Cocaine Bear an instant cult classic. It is this decade's Snakes on a Plane, and I gladly welcome it. Should you check it out? Absolutely. You'll definitely have fun with this one. If you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe for more great content.